A milestone in the history of telecommunications is about to occur. GTE is preparing to launch its first communications satellite for commercial use. Soon, guests from GTE Service Corporation, GTE Spacenet, and RCA Astroelectronics will arrive, from their cities at the leading edge of technology to technology at the edge of the jungle, to witness the launching of Spacenet 1, to watch the birth of a star. Spacenet 1 is the first of 5 satellites which GTE will launch and operate by 1986. All 5 will be capable of receiving and transmitting voice, video, and data for GTE Sprint and the many other customers of GTE Spacenet. Spacenet 1 is the most sophisticated telecommunications satellite to serve the American market. It will support existing uses of the 4 and 6 gigahertz C-band and applications using higher frequencies in the newer KU band of 12 and 14 gigahertz. Built by RCA Astroelectronics, Spacenet 1 stands about 10 feet tall in space with a solar wingspread of nearly 50 feet. At launch, Spacenet 1 weighs over 2,600 pounds, but it sheds almost 1,100 pounds in fuel to reach its final orbital location. There, Spacenet 1 will relay its signals to the United States from 22,300 miles above the equator for at least a decade. The satellite will remain aloft for this relatively long time because it's being launched from French Guiana in South America, only a few hundred miles from the equator. More mass can be launched nearer the equator, and more mass means more room for station-keeping fuel to keep Spacenet 1 longer in its proper orbit. This longer life, plus the cost and availability of the Ariane rocket, were the major reasons GTE chose ArianeEspace, the world's first space transport company. The Ariane rocket has launched many satellites for European countries and such telecommunications organizations as Intelsat and Inmarsat. Upon completion of Spacenet 1, GTE and RCA Astroelectronics supervised its shipment from the United States to Cayenne, the capital of French Guiana. The satellite was then brought at a careful and deliberate pace to Kourou, a city about 40 miles to the east. And there on the outskirts of this simple and unassuming town lies the Guiana Space Center, complete with radar tracking, sounding rockets, telemetry stations, and launch pads. The timetable involved in preparing and launching the satellite is a triumph of systems design, engineering, and management. With remarkable clockwork precision, technicians who have enfolded the satellite in reflective gold foil set it into its capsule or fairing. This is done in the Satellite Preparation Center, known as S1. After the engines are outfitted separately, the satellite is brought to the Ariane, which is on the launch pad, enclosed in this housing or gantry. Finally, in a sterile atmosphere, the fairing is cleaned with Freon and assembled atop the rocket. A few days before the launch, the Space Center is bustling with activity. The French and American engineers check every detail of the rocket and the satellite up in the gantry and remotely at the control center, located in a protective blockhouse a few hundred feet away. Representatives from GTE, GTE Spacenet, and RCA Astroelectronics, along with customers and guests, arrive at Rochambeau Airport. Soon they gather within the Space Center to witness the gantry being pulled back on tracks, revealing the Ariane rocket and Spacenet 1. May 22nd, 1984. After an entire day of loading the launch vehicle with an extremely volatile combination of liquid fuels, Ariane is ready. The feeling in the air is that of history in the making.
Well, the launch of Spacenet 1 is very important for GTE because it's the first GTE satellite to be launched. It's the first satellite for GTE Spacenet, and we'll become operational after the on-orbit test and checkout of this first satellite.
We're using facilities all over the world, but GTE is still the organization that puts the whole thing together, pays for it, and hopefully will earn a lot of money off of it.
Well, this is a major step for GTE because it expands the networks of two of GTE's major units, GTE Sprint and GTE Telenet, and also puts GTE into another segment of communications, which is the space segment, giving them satellite capacity for both sale to others and use within the company.
Within 20 minutes, with its blastoff still ringing in the ears of the spectators, Spacenet 1, via the Ariane rocket, achieves proper transfer orbit above the Earth. Everything goes so smoothly that on June 28, Spacenet begins to provide service to its customers ahead of schedule. Thanks to all the dedicated people involved in this complex operation, Spacenet 1 is stationed in the sky, a star destined to light a new era in telecommunications.